How much can you make as a trader or investor? 5%, 10%, 20%, 50%, 100%, 10 times your money? Well, I asked this question in one of my short videos and told you that I will be making more lengthy discussion of this later. So here we are. And here I'm saying that, of course, it depends on context how you are making these returns. Because in order to evaluate that, you have to answer to at least these questions. Firstly, what's the time frame and period of time where you achieve this kind of return? Because weekly returns most likely will be fluctuations, and if you are making something in 5 years, that's a different story entirely. Secondly, what's the performance of underlying market which you traded or invested? Because if you are seriously underperforming stocks or crypto or any other asset class, it doesn't matter how much you will be making, you will be still worse than the overall market. That has to be taken into consideration as well. Now, thirdly is what financial instrument did you use to achieve that return? Because if you're saying you are into stocks, you might be investing in or trading with the stock of the respective company, or you might be using futures or options on that stock or stock index. And that would yield completely different results. So that's important aspect as well. Next one is how much leverage, or if any leverage, have you used? Because, well, if you don't have any leverage at all, or you have leverage 1 to 500, well, these two scenarios will give you completely and entirely different results. And you cannot neglect that. And last but not least is what's your overall risk and levels of drawdowns that you achieved during this period? Because like if you have made 10% return, but your drawdowns has been like 50%, that's not very great performance at all. So, in order to have some context and some objective evaluation, you have to know at least these 5 factors very well. Only then you might have something. And this is actually one of the many ways how professional traders, investors and fund managers work. They look every percentage gain into broader context. Now, of course, they have like gazillion of other risk and performance metrics as well, but these 5 will give you a bit better context anyway. And then you might have something. Otherwise, we are just throwing numbers and manipulating naive people who don't understand how markets work and how compounded interest works. Because if you throw some random number, someone will make you 500%. That doesn't say much, right? But if you now have all these criteria which I told you previously, you might ask a bit broader, a bit more specific questions, and other people might have to answer them as well. And if they know how to answer that and you know how to interpret that, then you might actually have something. Otherwise, that's just manipulation of numbers and nothing more. So before you are doing anything, please always look at everything at context. Try to look how professionals are working. Now, you don't have to use any tool that professionals are using, because it wouldn't be that important to you anyway. Because, for instance, like performance metrics as alpha and betas are not that useful for retail investors as well, because risk-adjusted returns based on overall volatility of stock versus overall index wouldn't say much to anyone except for those who are managing mutual fund portfolios. But that's another story. And there is that, this is one of the topics I wanted to discuss in more depth and gave you some clarification. And I hope I gave you idea of how you should look more deeply about those absurd returns you have seen in social trading platforms and signals, where people give you absurdly high performance metrics and don't say anything else. But now I seriously hope you will have at least a couple of points to look when they are throwing you these numbers, and I seriously hope it helped. So Till next video, make sure you are following me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram and Facebook. And of course Twitter as well. So, till next video, bye.